You are listening to a Reverie original podcast. Please download the Reverie app to get the best in queer film, TV series, music, and podcasts. Stream out loud.
Hello, and welcome to Podcast of Color, where 4 trash bags of color come together to make some sense of this crazy old world we're living in. I'm Bays, and I am... Well, I guess I should say my name isn't Bays this week. My name this week is Kellyanne Cunye.
Wow.
I hate you so much.
Who are y'all?
Oh, my name is John, and yeah, that's it. I'm here. I'm ready.
She's blonde now.
Oh,
Do
that's
blondes have
right.
more fun?
I'm mixed. I'm John, and I'm mixed.
Oh, no.
This week I'm mixed. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Wait, what did they ask you were mixed with?
Okay, so today I went back to work with my new hair, and one lady, a patient of mine, said I look like Macaulay Culkin. And I didn't appreciate. And then
She dragged you, sis.
And then a lot of people ask me if I'm half white, and I'm like, no, that's just colonization. And it's just
Half white where?
I know, I don't know.
This bitch called me white. I said, bitch, where?
Yeah. And then one lady was like, your beard doesn't match your hair. And then I was like, I don't remember asking you your opinion. But
Duh shit. I mean, duh dipshit. It's called fucking hair dye.
So we have Macaulay Kagandahan with us tonight.
Dogging.
Macaulay. Oh, wow.
Wow, Renee, who are you?
Okay, bitch.
Kevin!
I'm mad. I'm Renee. And yeah, I'm also on the show. And I never get confused for being mixed. So.
Oh. Yeah, you do. People think you're part Asian.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah. Okay, I hear that,
my
but
mom
not
thought
like white. Nobody ever accused me of being Macaulay Culkin. I don't think.
Oh, lucky.
Damn. And I'm Raheem, and I'm about to go ape shit. So, woo, bitch, I'm ready.
Wait, you guys, this is our what episode?
60, yay!
60th episode.
Happy 60th to us.
Isn't that like a diamond or something? Like, isn't there like
Oh.
a
No,
thing?
it's not a diamond. It's a rock. Oh, wait, you can't see what I just did because you're not in the studio. But I threw up the rock sign.
What?
Beyonce.
I threw up the sign.
Yeah.
Well, lost on us.
I woke up like this.
Well, so happy 60th us.
Yay.
Thank you for being a friend.
We can get discounts now. Like we're going on the
AARP.
bus because we're 60.
at IHOB. At International
you mean
House of
IHOP?
Bussy.
IHOP.
15% off.
Oh God.
Renee, you're off the show. Not International House of Bussy.
But it's also B Day, B Week, B Month. We're just
Year.
celebrating that her album came out, and she was kind enough to feature her husband on it as well. We were, I'm sure he was very grateful for that. I mean, I will say that Rakeem is the bigger stan of the two of us. I will just give him that because it's true. So I'm gonna let you go first, sis.
I'm probably the biggest stan out of all of Reverie. I mean, so we're going to do things a little bit different this week. Like, we're going to do, our question of color is going to be, what is our favorite song? And then we're just going to go straight to Stan because, bitch, why the fuck not? So, before I answer what my favorite song was, I want to tell y'all where I was and the audacity of this bitch to just say.
Ooh. Okay, I have my story too, actually, now that
Okay.
you brought that up. Go ahead, though.
International House of Beyoncé Day. I'm so ready. So, I'm at work. I'm in a meeting with an artist, and we're talking about like the curation of her show.
This is the question of color. Where were you when?
Where were you?
Where were you when
even
it dropped?
Even better. So I was with an artist. We were working on the curation for her show and like the press release and that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, I get a text from someone that says, "Oh, Beyonce and her man just released an album." And I said, what? I said, what are you talking about? And then I got several texts that said Beyonce and Jay-Z just released an album. So then,
Wow. There's like a mini hive for you.
yeah, but the funny thing was my phone kept going off and I thought it was our group text. So I was going to go
Wow,
mute
so he was
it.
like, let me ignore it.
Well, I was going to go mute it because I was in a meeting.
Wait, it's not
And
muted?
then when it's not muted actually right now. But I saw it and I was like, oh my God. So then I said, oh my God, I'm not really feeling that well. Is it okay if I just take a 10-minute break and just go upstairs and sit down for a bit?
You're lying.
I'm not. I said, do you mind if I just go upstairs and sit down for a minute? I've been really working
I just
hard.
caught Beitis.
Yes.
A true
And
stan. A true stan.
She said, oh, you know what? That's fine. That's okay. So then I run upstairs and then I get my earphones out of my pocket and I only had time to listen to Ape Shit because it was 6 minutes. And I requested 10.
Wow.
So then I listened to it and I fucking fell on the floor. And then I was just like, where do I give her my money? Like, where do I pay? How do I pay for this? Like, I don't have any money, but I'm going to give her what I have. And then I was working a reception and, on reception days, I get an hour break because I'm there from like 10:30 to 8.
Mhm.
So then I took my hour lunch right after our meeting, and then I went to Starbucks, and then I listened to it, and then I had to work for 3 hours pretending to care about white people's art. It was rough. Yeah.
Wow.
So, where were y'all?
Is it okay if I go next?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so I had a great Friday night. I woke up on Saturday morning. It was a morning like any other morning. But I woke up and I had sort of like made plans with a friend of mine and Renee's, and we were supposed to go to the beach. Little did my black ass know that you can't just go to the beach last minute in New York City, especially not if you live in the Heights. So I was like trying to plan this out. I was like, oh, maybe if I get to the shuttle, but like either way it was gonna work. I was not gonna get to the beach until maybe 3:00. And at that point, like, bitch, I've taken 2 hours of a journey just to get to the beach at 3, and then probably everybody's gonna be dipping at like 4 or 5. It just didn't seem worth it to me. So I was just like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna make it. And I got really sad.
That's a trek too. We took off from the Heights to go to the beach, and I feel like it took like 2 hours. Like via public transportation.
No, it does. I mean, I looked it up on Google and it's literally 2 hours, and that's just like maybe 2 hours, like depending on like, if the trains are acting right that day.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I resigned myself to defeat, and I was like, no, okay, it's not going to happen. And I got really, really sad. And this has been like a sort of rough mental week for me anyway. So like, I just was like, and I just felt so defeated, and like, I was really depressed. And so I just watched like some Riverdale, and that didn't make me feel better. So I went to sleep. I was like, I need a depression nap.
Not
so I wake up out of my
depression nap.
Yeah, huh?
I said, not Riverdale. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yes. You know what? This first season was really good. The second season is kind of dragging a little bit. But anyway, I went to sleep on the couch. Something in my mind or my spirit or something told me to wake up. Just, I don't know what it was. Like,
your beehive senses were tingling?
They were tingling. And I was just like, what's going on? So I just woke up. And the first thing you do when you wake up is you look at your phone. So I looked at my phone and I had like 20 text messages like Beyonce, exclamation point, Beyonce. I was like, bitch, no, she didn't. But I already knew this was gonna happen. I knew she was gonna do this because she did this and when she dropped self-titled. So I was like, I know she's gonna do this. I know she's giving us new music. And so I was like, I don't want to hear anything from anybody. I didn't respond to any of the texts. I like listened to each song twice.
Whoa.
And then I was like,
right.
okay, now I'm going to talk to people. And I had to just take it all in, bitch, when I got to Ape Shit, which is the second song. I got to the second song, and I just was like, I literally, like, twerked myself out of depression. And I was just like, honestly, like, Beyonce's trap name needs to be Serotonin because that bitch cured me of my depression. Honestly, I have not felt depressed since I woke up from that nap.
Wow.
So,
Damn.
I don't know. What is the medication for depression? What do they call it?
A lot.
I don't know. There's different ones. Name one?
Zoloft.
Wellbutrin?
Yes.
Alexa.
I was on Citrulline.
Her alter ego, Alexa.
So
Be Lexa.
be
I'm
Lexa.
so done.
Be Lexa.
Be Loft instead of
Well, be Trin.
be Zach.
Be
Bizak Fierce. Okay.
Prozac, we don't know her.
Yeah, so
John, where were you?
Jean, Renee, where were y'all at?
Renee, you want to go first?
Not me.
No,
Sean
you.
was getting digged down.
I was not. I was okay.
John
Wait,
said,
time out. On Saturday, I went to Trans Pride, and
Excuse me, bitch.
it was really amazing. I went to go. There's a lot of art that was featured. A lot of really good art. I went to a panel. Because this is the first time I went to Trans Pride as a participant. The other times I was working it, I was working Campaign Proper, I was volunteering for Audre Lorde, and now this year I got to just go and experience it, and it was amazing. And I got to see a panel of a lot of different representations of what non-binary looks like, and everyone's different experiences. So that was really nice. I got really emotional because a lot of people were talking about, like, are they trans enough, or do they belong in this community? And I don't know, it was nice to hear other people talk about the things that I was feeling. So I was looking at the art. Oh, and there was free drinks, so that was nice. A couple of drinks in, my phone was vibrating, and I looked down, and it's from you guys. And all I saw was Beyoncé. And I was like, what's going on? And then you guys said that she dropped a new album, and I was like, what? And so I was looking on my phone, and I was like, wait, I don't have Tidal.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, this is the same. There was like a Trans Pride after party. There was like a Daddy Issues party. Mm-hmm. There was a party at Precinct. It was Putaria night. And then, there was all these options. And then one of my friends was like, hey, do you want to come over and watch the new Beyonce video? And I was like, yes. So I skipped all the parties to go watch the video over and over. And we got stoned and tried
As you
to
should.
analyze it.
You don't deserve any cookies.
Yeah, it was great.
I remember John's response to our text. John said, I need to leave Trans Pride.
Yeah. I was like, I need to leave Trans Pride, but I did it.
I need to leave now.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when the queen has things to do. We cancel whatever fucking petty ass peasant plans we had.
Well, I wouldn't call it petty plans, but it was.
Well, that was more towards.
Yeah, I mean, it was Trans Pride. It was pretty important.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, I'm just excited. You know what I meant.
Yeah. Renee, where were you when
it happened?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I honestly don't remember because I haven't been. I just got home last night.
But someone was going.
I was not anywhere where it would be ideal for me to sit down and listen to an album though. So I only got to listen to it yesterday. Why?
So, like,
just because of how you said that, I'm just thinking of like the places that were
that would.
And
I was thinking that too, honestly. I was
like,
where could she have been?
I'm like,
Like you're like at the Bathhouse, like I don't know, you're
24.
You're like
Stop.
you're using like
I was
number 3 or
requesting.
something.
I was
And then you're
like,
just like
I was like, can we stop the EDM and do you have Tidal? Do you mind if just sign up for the free trial right now and just play the new
Imagine
Beyonce
not
in
Beyonce
the
at the
Bathhouse,
Bathhouse.
please? This just needs to happen.
You just like go up to the guy at Steam Works,
but
like,
yeah, this weekend's been a bit of a blur, but it was definitely on the top of my mind at all times. So I'm glad that I finally got to listen to it.
Beyonce or the Bathhouse?
Oop.
Beyonce, Bathhouse, and beyond.
Beyonce.
Wow.
Bathhouse, and beyond. Wow.
Someone write that down. Write that down.
Beyonce, Bathhouse, and beyond.
As I
I'm
have
writing it
computer
down.
in front of me.
All right.
Okay.
Right after
have a
IHOB
computer
International
literally
House of
right.
Beyonce.
Hello, we're back. Jay-Z tried to hijack our stream and tried to cut off our internet, but we will not have it. We will not have it. We will not have it.
The Carters.
We are back, and we're back. Everything is fine. So we're gonna talk about now. We're gonna talk about our favorite songs off the album and I guess overall thoughts. So
Thoughts.
yes, Baze, do you want to go first?
Yes. Here's the thing. I feel like now this is a trick question because apparently there's a bonus song that's only available on Tidal called Salud. And, Salut. The D is silent. I forgot that's how French works. Half the damn words be silent and you don't know what the fuck you're saying half the time.
Oh, I thought it was Spanish because that means bless you in Spanish.
No, it's I think it's like a hello in French if I can remember my French. It was salut, like just saying hi or hello or whatever. Yeah. But irregardless, I'm just kidding. Regardless,
I was like, girl.
I know. Somebody did that on Twitter and got dragged for it because they were trying to drag somebody for not speaking correct English, and then they were like, irregardless, and then they got dragged. It was funny. Anywho, so I feel like that's now a trick question because, okay, my thing is nice. Like, I love nice. I love the way that Beyonce, like, talks on it. And to be honest, like, I low-key feel ashamed, but not really ashamed of saying that Jay-Z sounds sexy as fuck on Nice. Like, when he's like...
Jay-Z looks sexy as fuck, too, in the
When he says, I can do anything, and I don't have to fear nothing. And he's just, like, the confidence with which he's saying everything, and then the beat, it just sounds really hot to me. And in combination with his looks for this era is just, like... I know he doesn't cut his hair when he's working on something. I don't know if he's changing that, if he's currently working on something or if he considers this tour working on something, but the hair works for him. He just looks so much better with hair. But I also just love black men in general with hair. So, but yes, honestly and truly, like, that song gave me the strength of the Black Panther.
What's your least favorite?
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say, and this is not my least favorite song, but I'll say why I think I like it the least from Jay-Z's perspective. On Jay-Z's part, Summer. I love Summer so much, but I feel like that's the only song that Jay-Z is off on. Like, I don't like his verse on that song.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only one that I'm just like, it just feels off. It feels out of place. It feels like he's unnecessary to it. Not that he feels necessary in any of the songs, but like that particular song, he just feels particularly unnecessary.
You guys stop. He's going to cut off our internet again.
I kind of love Jay-Z now again. I know.
Like, okay, look, so it worked. Can we stop being fake mad? Like, okay.
Her tactic is working. She's like, love my husband, please.
I just find that so weird that people hate him.
I never hated him, but I just also don't feel like she does.
You find that weird?
She deserves better.
Yes, I find that weird. Well, I think she deserves better also, but it's not like he didn't cheat on you, bitch. So it's just like, I don't get why people have to be so invested in hating him.
Well, it's like if you had a friend and somebody cheated on your friend, you would be mad at that person too.
Yeah, but if my friend forgave him, so the fuck would I?
But I would always hold it in my heart. But
yeah, right, exactly.
I would at least pretend to get over it because you can't be beefing with somebody's man and your friend, otherwise the friendship ends.
Right. Okay, but also like Jay-Z's like one of the greatest rappers, if not the greatest rapper of all time, and I feel like
how is that true when Beyonce exists?
I don't know.
The stand jumps right back on in.
Come on. Okay, but let's talk about that. How pretty much she out-rapped him.
Well, wait, John and Renee have to say their favorite songs.
Oh, sorry.
And you do too, don't you?
I'm so excited.
Did you say your favorite song? You didn't.
Me or Renee or John?
You didn't say it.
You can wait. You can hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can.
I feel like y'all can guess what song is my favorite song off the album? Just like the title, just by the titles.
Oh wait, let me look at the track.
Okay, let's all double
check. Hold on.
We all pull out our
phones. I have
a
feeling I know what it is, but
is it Friends?
It's totally Friends.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Because it's like. It's cute. I think it's so cute. I don't know if I've heard like anyone rapping. Like the thing about rap is like you're supposed to be like cocky about something, right? Like you're cocky about whatever it is that you have that you're like, I have this and y'all don't, and like this is like, and this is the real shit or whatever. And like she's being cocky about her friendships, and I think that's like the most pure thing.
In a song.
That is the most pure thing. And like,
I felt like it was though. I felt like it was. I felt like it was her saying, my friends are goals, your friends are foes. Like, saying, like,
I was like,
like she's bragging that she actually has good taste in friends and Jay doesn't.
Oh, was that directed towards Jay?
It was, of course she was talking about Kanye and Kim.
Are those his friends?
Okay, real.
They were. I mean, Kanye was his friend.
Yeah. I almost thought it was directed at Kanye.
I mean, I thought it was definitely directed at
right?
Kanye.
Isn't it? Because did y'all ever hear "Real Friends" by Kanye?
No.
Okay.
No.
So amazing song, but total bummer song. And then it's obviously Kanye, so like, you know, issues. But on Real Friends, he's talking about how like basically like he's fake. He's a fake friend, and everyone around him is fake. And like he wants to be real, but like at the end of the day, like everyone's not really happy for each other, like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this sounds like almost like a reaction to that, like almost like being like, actually, my friends are extremely happy for me when I succeed, and they're like here for me and they're on my team. So like, if this is what your friends are like, then like, I'm so sorry for you, but like, you know, this is my shit. So
I felt the same way.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm really digging that track. I mean, I'm digging a lot of the tracks, obviously. I'm really here for Ape Shit. I think Ape Shit is my second best, but Friends is definitely up there, yeah.
John, what about you?
It didn't come on till Spotify till today, right?
Of course, I forgot Beyonce does something.
Yes.
John doesn't listen.
No, stop
Would
it.
have guessed.
I was at work all day. I couldn't listen
Bitch,
to
and
Okay, but where were you last night?
Did it come out on Spotify last night? I just found out today that it was on
had
Spotify.
Tidal last night like I did.
You could have got a free 6-month trial of Tidal. Did you text me,
Wow.
Rakeem, what's your Tidal login?
Ooh, didn't even try.
I didn't know
Didn't
that you were going to do that.
I have 5 Tidal. Oops, let me not say that.
Yes, keep that to yourself, sis.
Who said that? Who said that?
No, but it did come out. It's so funny because I never get notifications for when any albums release, whatever. But today I got on Apple Music,
too.
like, you got that, and it was
Yeah,
like, hold up, the new Beyonce album, and it had a little bee emoji, and I was like, oh my god.
Damn.
See, I don't have Apple Music either. So.
Ooh, girl. The
Ghetto.
I know.
The ghetto.
Wait, okay. So
But
out of what you did hear, what did you like?
All I heard was Ape Shit.
Okay,
and I
well,
really
did you
liked
like it?
Of course I did. I watched
Okay.
the video over and over and over, but
What did you like about the
She
video?
made sure to put it on her Insta story so we could see it, so we could comfort her.
he just went to like 3 minutes so it looked like he was watching the full thing and then took a video and said, I'm gonna turn this shit off.
oh my god.
Wait, what? No, what did you like about the video though, for real?
That it was at the Louvre.
Wait, maybe we should not discuss that because we can discuss that in a whole separate thing.
Okay,
like the video itself.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we move into that
Well,
now?
Rakeem,
No,
you
because
didn't go.
I didn't.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because John's like, talk about something I can talk about. Hurry.
He's like sweating. He has like one drop of sweat.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god. I would say my favorite song is it's between Ape Shit, Boss, and Nice. I can't pick between the three.
They're so good. They're all so good. And she says so many funny things in all of them.
Oh, also, I love the fact she was dragging Jay-Z in Love Happy.
Oh,
she said, you fucked up on the first stone or something. And then she goes, I should have killed you when I saw that. But I was like,
When I met that bitch, yes.
Yeah, when I met that bitch.
He was like, I. Oh my god.
Wait, she met her?
I guess so. I guess B met Becky.
I mean, I feel like
wonder
we always
who
knew
it
that,
is.
right? Like, didn't she
What-
kind of like allude to that? And
Wasn't she at the Met when Solange went off?
yeah, that was the rumor.
Oh.
That was why she.
Oh, because she was at the Met Gala?
Yeah, and apparently that's why Solange was like, "Fuck you," and like fucked him up in the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Me and my friends
We
were in
gotta
the,
we gotta reel the tapes and find who the suspects are.
Oh,
me and my friends were
shit.
in the elevator at the Met, and we were like, "Oh my god, this is maybe where it happened. This was maybe the elevator."
Cast it in
Damn.
gold.
I
Put it
know.
in a museum. Put it in a MoMA.
Damn. I wonder whatever happened to the security guard that leaked the footage. Like, does she have a career?
They were fired.
Fired.
I don't
I know, but I wonder
But
if
the
she
money-
able to get
but the
employment somewhere
money.
else.
Yeah.
What money, girl? She just leaked it to TMZ. They probably gave her $2,000.
True.
I mean, if she doesn't tell anybody that she worked there, she should be fine.
I guess.
It's not like her face was plastered on the news or anything.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I thought the album was it was so fucking dope. I love the musicality of it. I love how it's like kind of like trap, but then like not trap. It's like a lot of like, it's weird because it's like, it's not as like out there as like Lemonade and Self-Titled was, but it's not as like mellow as like 444. It's kind of like if Self-Titled and 444 had like a baby.
Oh, bitch. Shake the table.
That's kind of like what it sounds like musically to me. But bitch, I will say, I guess we can talk about ape shit now because girl, when I saw that shit, that is the layers, like her mind,
and
it amazes me.
And Art Major did like a tweet thread about like all the intricacies of the meanings and stuff, like of like the shots and all that, and it was just like I was like, bitch.
Oh my god,
tell us
some of them.
Oh, there's like this portrait of this black woman, and she's like one of the few it was one of the few paintings of a black woman painted before the 20th century, and it's like the way that they like found like all the images of the black people in the art, like bringing them to the forefront. I don't know, it was like some deep ass shit. It was a long thread, but it was like interesting to read.
That makes sense.
I remember some of it. So
yeah,
like,
you go off, girl. I have a bad memory.
Okay, I took 2 art history classes, so obviously I'm an expert.
Ooh, yeah. Check your credentials.
Yes, I give you everything you want, everything you need. Even your friends say I'm a good woman. All I need to know is why.
That UCLA difference.
Okay. So first of all, they're dancing in front of the coronation of Napoleon, like yes, all of the black women in the skin nude. Thank you, nude tights. That in and of itself was gorgeous because like they were all the correct color. They were moving all in sync. They were holding hands, like, and I love how they were like close enough to the art that like you could be nervous but not close enough to set off the alarm.
Yes, I was thinking that the whole time.
I was like, girl, if one of them fall, it's a wrap. Like and also before we like talk about it, did y'all see today, Bays, on Twitter how there was an article that came out that said like they finished the album like an hour and a half before like it came out, before they did their concert?
Wait,
like,
repeat that?
So the album was finished an hour and a half before it came out. So they announced it at their London concert. It was finished an hour and a half before that.
Bitch.
And apparently what they had to do, so apparently they went to the Louvre in like May and they had the concept for it. And then they talked to them, like the people that were there, and they said, well, we'll let you do it because you clearly have like a respect for the artwork because they've been there like 4 times before. But they only had like, I think like a few days, if not that, like to shoot it or whatever. And I also read that the Louvre turned down Kim Kardashian having her wedding there.
Goodbye. Good fucking bye.
I don't know if that's true or not. I did not fact check it, but I read that they turned her down to have her wedding there, but they said okay for the music video.
Dang.
But yeah, so they're dancing in front of like the coronation of Napoleon, and I don't know all the intricacies because I'm not familiar with the painting, but what I do know is that it's kind of like this. The whole concept of it was like reclaiming blackness in spaces where like it's not allowed to be. So like even of the portrait of the black woman, like that was a generic portrait of what they consider to be a black woman, because I think the title was like. The title translates to like negress or something like that, like literally,
yeah.
like.
I mean, a lot of them are, and a lot of them, especially like in France. I've not gone to that museum, the Louvre, but a lot of the art, they're like very intentional about like this is what it was called. It was racist. Like they've gotten better about like making sure that they acknowledge, you know, the problems with it at some of these museums.
But that's why it's so beautiful, because like they're giving her like this agency that she didn't have before. And they have all these black bodies that are literally like, fuck all this old art shit. We're dancing in front of it because we're like the new art, or like we're, you know, I just thought it was so beautiful. And I saw some people like saying some shit like, oh, I wonder if Beyonce even understands like the references that are like in her music. And I'm just like, can we
people
fucking
be
stop?
trying to downplay her so much?
Like, stop the narrative that Beyonce's fucking stupid because she's beautiful and she has a southern accent. Because she says y'all and she says "da" instead of down. Like, stop. Like, I hate that shit. And it's just like, no one ever does that when it comes to Solange. Like, I saw someone say something like, oh, well, you know, putting black bodies in spaces that weren't meant for you isn't revolutionary, and putting them in an art museum isn't revolutionary. And I'm like, well, it was revolutionary when Solange did it at the Guggenheim, but I didn't see you saying anything. It was revolutionary when Solange was doing all this stuff with the Hammer Museum, but you didn't say anything. But because Beyonce did it in a bodysuit and was whining her ass
at the Louvre.
Yeah, the
which
Louvre.
is like more, I don't know, it's like world renowned, right? It's the most. Oh, so I was having actually I was very, very stoned, and I had my friend and you know, Ramon, so texted me.
Yes.
I was like, what does this mean? And so Ramon was,
You texted Ramon, what does this mean?
I did. I was like, I know what this means.
I was with Ramon.
Let me text my art friend. So they lined themselves up with the well, first they lined themselves up with Napoleon's coronation, and Beyonce lined herself up with Josephine, who's Napoleon's queen. And the story of that is that with Napoleon's coronation, they didn't need the blessing of the Pope. So essentially, they are a self-appointed emperor and empress, which is Jay-Z and Beyonce. And then she also lined herself up with the Greek goddess, Athena, who is the goddess of war and wisdom. And then I forgot what the rest was.
They had the Sphinx that was in the back too.
Mm-hmm. And then what do you think it meant standing in front of Mona Lisa? Both of them.
Oh, I thought that was a very deliberate, like, because all the shots with Mona Lisa's blurred. Like,
is she?
For the most part,
I didn't even
Mona
notice
Lisa's,
that. I need to
like,
go back and
like
watch.
if you look at the album cover, like how it's the black woman picking out the black man's hair and the Mona Lisa's in the background, it's blurred. And to me, that was saying fuck this like idea of like what whiteness says is beautiful, like, but also at the same time, it's like to me, it's multi-layered because on one hand, I think they're saying like, look at the access that we have and like look what we can fucking do. But on the other hand, I think they're saying, look at this basic ass bitch and look at us. Like, and then on the other hand, I think they're saying like, I don't fucking know. Like, I felt
like
go
ahead. I felt like it was very much like, and I know that a lot of people like feel a way about this, like that particular tweet that you were referencing, Rakeem, where it's like, oh, there's nothing new about being black in white spaces. But it's like, okay, well, like, and there's nothing new about being gay in straight spaces, and there's nothing new under the sun, but there can be something revolutionary in the way that you do it.
Right.
And so, like, I mean, I don't know. I gathered that it was them saying, like, okay, like, we're in this traditionally white space, but as you were saying, like, okay, now look at us. We're here. We made it. We did this. And, you know, I mean, she's positioning herself as a representation of black beauty, and she's positioning these other black women in her music video that way. And I think she's really trying to, I guess, redefine our beauty standards. I think that's what she's trying to do, to be honest.
Renee, what did you think?
I was just blown away by it. Honestly, I literally was just watching it, and I like can't even explain my thought process because it was just kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Like, y'all are at the Louvre. Like, what the fuck?
The Louvre.
Lord found dead in a ditch.
Bitch. In the back.
Bitch.
But still the Louvre.
Still the Louvre.
And dead. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was fucking regal as fuck. It was magnificent. Like, the thing is that some of these ideas could be executed in a way where they come off as like really corny, or like, I feel like really over the top, or like too much basically. But it's just like the way they do everything, it just like comes out. It's like amazing. It's like exquisite, like groundbreaking, never been done before. Yeah, I was just like, literally, I was just like, what the fuck? Just that was basically my whole thought process while watching it, was just like, what the fuck, over and over again. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I honestly, really just, my mind is still kind of like, it's like mush. I don't really, I can't really
That's valid, to be honest.
say what I want to feel or what I want to say about it. So
All I know is I feel so bad for the people that already saw On the Run.
Oh,
I'm excited, bitch. I'm about to have new choreo, new music. Oh, bitch.
I don't get it.
imagine going to the tour where they announced it, realizing first you're like, oh my god, a new album. Then you're like, wait, they didn't perform it? Like,
I would be pissed.
wait,
well, I'll say this.
Oh, go ahead. Go.
When before Beyonce did Self-Titled, I went to the Mrs. Carter show in 2013, and I went like in the summer, or no, that's not true. I went like in the fall, and she dropped Self-Titled in December, like a few months after, and I remember being really excited, and then being like, what the fuck? Why? Like, she just didn't perform any of this shit. So it's like for the first 4 shows, they just got old shit. So I feel bad for them, but
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna go back and get that. Well, I don't want to say Caucasian because there are some non-Caucasians in the UK, but she's gonna go back and get that that imperialist money. You know,
truly,
she gonna do it because she has to. There's no way she can't go back to the UK with after releasing new music. But yikes for y'all.
But yeah, do y'all remember when after Lemonade dropped and then there was rumors? I feel like immediately after there was rumors like Jay-Z and Beyonce are gonna do a joint album, and everybody was like groaning about it. And it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Me.
Right. I mean, same. And like, I was just like, ugh, whatever. But like now listening to it and watching the video specifically too, I was just like, oh shit, wait, like, okay, Beyonce, like, yeah, you've convinced us to like maybe, accept him back into the picture for you. So,
and you know what's so funny about it too, Renee, is that like I think that after 4 happened, I think that I just stopped kind of guess what Beyonce is and Jay-Z are even going to do, because I feel like when I was thinking of the Joy album, and I admit I was kind of like, ugh, dude,
yeah, and that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying like when you think about these ideas, they're like they sound like they could be corny. Like when I heard that, I was like, okay, that's gonna be really corny. But then watching the execution, I'm just like, oh shit, wait.
But time and time again, Beyonce has told us, bitch, just let me do what I'm going to do. And every time I'm going to scalp you. And I'm so sorry for doubting you again, Queen. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Like, every time. It's just like, and the thing is, the apeshit video is like, I remember watching Lemonade, like, how is she going to top this? And I remember
that's what I was
Self-Titled
thinking.
dropped. I was like, how's she going to top this?
How is she going to top this?
And then when apeshit dropped, I'm like, oh, like that. Like,
yeah.
And it's just,
you read out the most iconic museum in the world and shut it down for your music video.
Like,
and
you know
it's
what's crazy?
scary. How is she gonna top this?
Right.
I guarantee you her next album's
think
going to be in fucking movies. I guarantee it's going to be in a theater. Watch.
I think she can, because honestly, if I'm being like completely totally honest, I don't think that this is like the best she could do. I think this is the best she could do with Jay-Z.
With Jay-Z, I agree.
I think that Beyonce can do so much more.
This is only one video.
Huh?
This is one video out of.
I mean, true, but even
songs?
musically, like what I'm saying is, I don't think that.
Sure.
I think that this was like a different thing for her to do. Like it's different. This is different from her previous works.
Yeah.
But is this better than Lemonade? Is this better than Self-Titled? I don't think so. So I think that this is something that she's doing with him, and I think it's great. But I think that she can definitely top herself on top. She can definitely top this.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny, Baze, is I think this isn't new for her. I think this is old for her, because I think Beyonce, if you really think about it, like Beyonce is the reason that like this whole rap singing thing is like really popular. Like Destiny's Child is the group that popularized that with like No or whatever. So she's been like rapping forever, right?
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the sound of the album itself.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's like
not the same as what she's been doing.
And I felt like Beyonce has, so I don't know if y'all remember, but like when Self-Titled dropped, she had like those series of like behind the scenes videos. And I remember in one of them, she said like she felt that being a role model for her was creatively like stifling her. And I felt that, and she said that with Self-Titled, she was no longer going to care about that. And I feel like she's wanted to do a hip hop album or like a rap album forever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, she has bars. And it's like my least favorite song on the album is 713.
Oh, I don't really care that much about that song either.
Not because I think it's bad, but because it's for Houston. And so it's like I don't get that. You know what I mean? That's not like what I listen to normally, that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's the kind of shit that she listens to. Like, she was in wasn't she like in a Bun B video or something like that when she was 16? Like, Beyonce is a hood rat. And so I love
that
the
she's
fact that,
referencing Dr. Dre in that track too.
yeah. And there's a lot of fucking references like all through the album. And then it makes you really kind of appreciate like how much music she listens to.
Yeah.
Like, and like, you know, so I just thought that was really, really dope. And to see her, and I love when she cusses. My favorite Beyonce is cuss-once and trap-once.
Cuss-once. Yeah, when she was like giving us those runs and saying nigga, I was like, go off, yes.
When she said bum whores, I was like, oh. I was like, wait a minute. Like, every time she cusses, it just takes me by surprise the first time I hear it. Like, I know with the first time y'all probably heard Partition and she was like Monica Lewinsky and On the Gown and horny and he wanna fuck, you were like, what the fuck? And now when she's saying stuff like that, I love it. I love that it's vulgar, but it's like not vulgar at the same time. I love that she said she'll
her.
take...
I said because it's her.
Yeah, she said she'll take a Louis Slugger to a bitch that was talking shit.
Wow.
She said that she said you would have caught these hands if it weren't for my friends. Like, she was talking shit. So I love it.
I'm really excited to listen to it.
Wait, did she really? So when we say she rented out the Louvre, like, did she have to pay for that, or did she just talk to them and they let her do it?
We won't know unless somebody leaks it from the Louvre. We're not gonna know. I read something, and it's something like 52,000 to rent it out for like a party or something. But I don't think you can rent the whole thing. I think you can only rent like part of it.
Right.
And obviously, like, they're limited. Like, you have to do it at like night, right? Because you can't do it during the day because millions of people go to the Louvre.
Right.
And it's huge.
But
So,
also, how
I
do you
don't
do
know.
that without no one knowing?
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The access that has, the influence that has, the power that has, the international implications that has. Like, I just like, how? Like,
Yeah.
name
Yeah, somebody
another
said she had a
bitch
better legal team than Donald Trump.
Oh,
I mean,
Those
listen.
contracts.
All I have to say is I'm not arguing with anybody anymore. Beyonce is the greatest of all time. I'm not doing it. She's fucking amazing. Who's doing it? Who? Name another bitch.
You can't.
You can't. Like, that's it. Like,
I
I'm
know.
not arguing with. Yeah, I can't.
I mean, somebody had the nerve to come in my DMs and talk about her, and I was just like, you know what? You have a beautiful day. You have a very lovely evening. I wish you well.
Your reaction to that was so funny.
I really couldn't, because I was like, what do I look like? This bitch pulled me out of my depression. I'm gonna waste it on arguing over for some shit that ain't even real. Anywho, any last thoughts, y'all? On that?
I'm bald.
I'm just really excited to see what else is going to come out from this. Because, you know, like you guys were saying, how is she going to top this? And I want to see if you're going to make this whole statement at the Louvre, what is the rest of it going to be? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Don't you
I'm
have to
just
listen
excited
to
for
it
the
first to see it?
choreo.
Wow.
And the rest of the tour, and what the tour is going to look like after this, because I'm like, she has like, I think, a 4-day break in between that last show and her next show, which I think is I believe it's in France, but maybe it's somewhere else. What is she going to do? Like, what is that show going to look like? Because we already saw some of what it was, and it was amazing, but like, how is she going to step it up in the performances?
It's
I
also
thought those are like warm-up tours.
Yeah. I feel like she is using Europe as a warm-up.
I agree.
God.
I think so too.
She's like, this is like her testing ground, and then when she comes to the US, she's gonna really bring it.
Wait, she's truly anti-imperialist. She's going to the colonizers and not even giving them what they deserve. What they think they deserve. What they think they deserve.
Did you guys see her shout out Blue at the concert, and Blue like puts her head down and shakes her head?
She's like, Mom,
like, not here, Mom. Please. My fans are watching.
But I love that people actually like go up to Blue, like, or like people like wave at her like at the concert or whatever, and like Blue has fans. Like, I love it.
And did you see her with her little friend,
girl?
Huh?
Especially because they talk so much shit about her when she was born. Like, I'm just happy to see Blue growing up and like being able to express herself and, you know, dress like a kid and whatever, you know?
And you know what I think? Honestly, what I think about, I I think that's part of like the impetus to this new era of Beyonce where she's very overtly black. Which she's always been overtly black, but I think like she's like in your face about it more so now because I think that, you know, you saw the reactions to Blue when she was born, and even before she was born, people were like making memes of like she was gonna look like Jay-Z, and so you saw like this little girl who, and now that we do see her, she has very black features and she has very black hair. You know, I think that has had an impact on Beyonce's work. I think she felt, I don't know, I don't want to say what she felt, but I feel like maybe she feels like a responsibility to have a wider representation of black women on display because of the negative reactions to Blue.
That's sad, but it's also amazing at the same time. Like, it's sad that, you know, that's had to happen, but...
But you also even see it now, like, it's really changed. Like, Beyonce being pro-black has, like, changed, I think, the game. Like, the way that people talk about race on the internet is not the same way that they talked about it pre-self-titled. And I don't want to say that's all Beyonce. You know, clearly times have just changed in general. But I think that, you know, I think she's done a lot towards moving the conversation forward.
She's a huge part of the pie. Like, and also too, one thing that I noticed, like with her tours that she does that I think is amazing, I didn't even realize, is she goes to these tours and these stadiums across the world, and she has interludes for Flawless that literally spells out literally the definition of feminism, and it's teaching people like what that is on a wider scale. And when you think about to like 2009 and 10 and 11 and 12 even, and you know, so many female pop artists were scared of that word. And Beyonce was like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna say it's what it is. And then to go on these world tours and just spell it out for everyone. And even at Coachella, I noticed that they spelled out, or they talked about feminists right before Destiny's Child came up. Like, I didn't realize that until like yesterday. And so it's just really amazing that she's really inserting like these political ideas like in her work. And this is the first thing that her and Jay-Z have released post-Trump. So I thought that was really amazing that they have all these black people in a museum in a Trump America. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, we're being told that we live in hell, and Beyonce's like, no, bitch, we live in the fucking Louvre.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Okay, bitch, yes.
Shit.
All right.
Come on, analysis.
Yes.
Sis.
So we're going to switch gears just a lot. I don't know why I was going to say just a little bit. A lot. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Nope, this is going to be very different. So there's been a lot of outcry because at detention centers across the U.S., children are being separated from their families and are being held in some places in cages. They're for blankets. They're using I don't know. It looks like foil. I'm sure it's not foil, but it's like this like metallic.
It's supposed to be like a thermal blanket. Yeah. But
yeah.
it's
There's like they have blankets. They don't even have cots or anything.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Mylar
very bare
blankets.
minimum to provide to somebody who needs some warmth.
A Mylar blanket is like a Mylar balloon. Like, that's not going to keep anybody warm.
It's just like really wild that this is just happening so blatantly, and that the like, I think, what's her name, Katie Nielsen, or fuck, what's this lady's name, this horrible demon of a woman, oh,
that blonde bitch.
yes, what the fuck is her name?
Oh, sorry, not you, John. Sorry.
Was he shook?
He looked at me.
Homeland Security Chief Kirsten Nielsen has said that there's like no such legislation, that this is not like, this is all perfectly like okay, and people are not being put in cages, and ICE, our border patrol, is talking about they find it uncomfortable that people are saying that they're putting children in cages. And I was like, you know what's more uncomfortable is children being separated from their parents at the border and then being put in a fucking cage. I'm sure that's much more uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, did you hear like the recording? I think somebody did like the undercover recording at the
oh god.
Dude, I literally Yeah, that was really
I didn't
bad.
listen for very long.
It was
kids
it was really
crying.
bad.
It was kids crying, and I think one of the patrol agents was like, "We have a whole orchestra in here."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He said, he was like joking.
Wow.
He's like, all we're doing is missing a conductor. But yeah, it sounds fucking horrible. It's like these kids are fucking scared. Like, of course,
Yeah.
like this whole room of kids all taken away from their parents. Like they're terrified
So
and they're all
sad.
gonna be crying.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, so I'm reading on Bazaar, Harper Bazaar. According to Vox, between October 1st, 2017 and May 31st, 2018, at least 27 children have been split from their parents. 1,995 of them were separated over the last 6 weeks of that window, April
Holy
18th
shit.
through May 31st, indicating that at present, an average of 45 children are being taken from their parents each day.
Fuck.
This is still happening every day.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Children are
It's
being
hard.
misplaced. Children are being trafficked.
Yeah.
It's like a whole, like, this is like truly disgusting because these are people, and it doesn't matter whether they're here for, true, a lot of people are escaping violence, and threats of death and murder and torture back home.
Right.
And so they are seeking asylum, but it doesn't matter whether they're seeking asylum or they just crossed the border because they just felt like it. Like, these are people,
Right.
Right.
and no
And,
one
like,
is illegal.
And they're crossing out of necessity. And apart from that, it's just like you're fucking up. Like they're gonna very much traumatize these kids. Like that's
Right.
Yes.
you're traumatizing the parents. You're saying if you're saying like, hey, we're just gonna take this person, take your kid really quick for a bath, and then not bring the kid back. Like you're fucking like you're really fucking with somebody psychologically, and that could be potentially irreparable, especially for the kids. There was I don't know if you heard far enough into the recording where like this little girl was crying and she was saying she had memorized her aunt's phone number, and I think like her mom had like trained her like in case something happens, this is your aunt's phone number and you can call her and like she'll come get you. And the little girl's trying to convince one of the staff, and she's like please, I know my aunt's phone number, I memorized it. If we call her, like, she'll come get me. It's okay. My mom said that it's okay for you to... And it's just, like, so heartbreaking to hear, like, these kids, like, they know what's going on with them is fucked up. And they know, like...
Yeah.
And you know, they've been trained to, like, deal with what's going on. But it's still, like, incredibly heartbreaking. Yeah.
And I was reading that there were some Democrats who, I think it was Jersey, they went to a detention center and they talked to a lot of adults who were separated. There was one guy who was separated from his brother. There was a father who had his 12-year-old daughter ripped from his arms. And it's just like,
Jesus.
I just can't, like, I just don't understand how we're so comfortable with dehumanizing people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like,
To that, go ahead.
no, I mean, I don't know.
To that
So,
point,
Steven-
Base, I saw. Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Brittany.
Go.
I saw a video that was, I think it was Antonio Viragosa that was using it as like a political campaign ad, and it felt really like gross to me because I'm just like, it's like torture porn. And in the video, it was a mother, and ICE literally came up, snatched the child out of her hands.
Are you talking about the little 2-year-old toddler?
I don't remember. I had, honestly, I turned it off. I haven't been watching videos of this because watching families get separated is almost the same thing as seeing black people being killed.
Yeah,
I can't, like, actually, when Renee was talking, I was trying not to cry because it's just like, it's one of those things where it frustrates me because I feel like the conversation even around it is wrong, because
Right.
to me, it's not a political issue. It's not like these aren't bargaining chips. Like, these are people.
And Trump is using it as such, as a bargaining
If you
chip.
separated little
Right.
white girls that came from Norway from their white mothers, people will be having pitchforks.
Right.
And it's racism. It's little because no one ever talks about the Canadian border. They never.
Right.
Most people that immigrate here, quote unquote, illegally, which again, no one is a fucking illegal, but when that happens, and most of it's by airplane anyway.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the fact that people are that they're focusing
That's
on the
very true.
Mexican border is racism. What they're saying is, I don't want your fucking brown ass in my country. Get out. And it's not your country. You fucking stole it. And then when that, I do want to commend that one reporter that was in the press briefing that like pressed Sarah Huckabee Sanders and was
Yes.
like, you're a fucking
Yes.
mom. Like, what the fuck? And then she didn't answer. She's evil. She can fucking choke. She can drink bleach. She can drink molten lava. She can fucking.
Okay, let's
sit
be
on an
careful,
ice-
girl, because she's still in the White House.
I hate. I'm sorry. I hate her.
Yeah.
Like,
I do too.
because she's.
How do you sleep
Ooh.
at night? Her and not Rand Paul. What's that nigga's name?
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan. Him too. He's a fucking demon. Like, and I see pictures of them with their kids in their day-to-day life, and I'm just like, how do you sit there with your
Right.
children knowing that this is the things that you're doing to other people across the country?
But that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
They don't care, and that's why
Yeah.
it's so dangerous when he says when Trump says stuff like these are animals, like these aren't people, because
Right.
it in people's minds, and rather let me say racist people's minds, it signals to them that this behavior is okay, and it's not okay, and it's wrong, and it's just. Like, even, I don't know, like, at what point do we just say these are people and they need to be treated like people, as opposed to Democrats need to come to the table or Republicans need to do
Exactly.
this? Like, they are fucking, like, I do not understand how you could be so hateful. And it's,
That's I just don't understand. It's like this country. We have so much. Our whole history is so embarrassing. You know, we had human zoos, we have concentration camps in America, and it's just like now this is happening, and it's just going to be another part of an embarrassing part of our history. Is us taking away children from their families, and there's literal photographs of children in cages with these Mylar blankets. Like,
Yeah.
why is this happening? I don't understand. And it's not. I mean, I know it's getting a lot of attention, but I think it should be getting more.
I
And it's
agree.
like,
And then-
they're saying like, oh, go ahead, Renee.
Oh, I don't know if y'all heard that, like, one of the staff members even quit just because he was like, this is fucked up, and like, I'm
Yeah.
not doing
Good.
this. And like,
Yeah.
because he saw that the kids were so distressed and they weren't being tended to, and like some of them were like becoming suicidal because of how bad they were being, like, you know,
Yeah.
how bad it was for them. But
I mean,
yeah,
imagine that. Imagine having everyone ripped from you.
yeah, like it's already fucking scary going to an entirely different place that's unfamiliar to you. And apart from that, you're most likely running from something, whether it's like some type of violence or like if you're seeking asylum, or like in general, like just out of necessity, like if you're struggling, like you're running from something already. And then like these big scary people come, like they're like emotionless because they're told, apparently they were being told you're not supposed to comfort the kids. So like these super cold, like, white people come, well, and you know, not just white people, but all these
And
people,
tools
like,
of white supremacy.
right? Yeah, and like, you know, take you away and like are treating you so coldly. Then that's fucking scary. Like, as a kid, it would be scary as an adult. Like, imagine a
Yeah.
fucking child. It's a lot.
And I forgot. I lost what I was gonna say, but so I was looking up like ways in which we can help.
Yes.
According to refinery.29.com, there's an article. It's called "How to Help Parents and Kids Separate at the Border." One of the things is support advocacy organizations. There's something called RAICES. This Texas-based organization offers free and low cost legal services to immigrant children and families. Pueblo Sin Fronteras. This organization provides humanitarian aid and shelter to migrants on their way to the U.S. Together Rising. This Virginia-based organization is helping provide legal assistance for 60 migrant children who were separated from their parents and are currently detained in Arizona. There's a couple more. We'll make sure to put it in the info
Description,
underneath.
yeah.
The description.
And you can donate. There's a Facebook page to donate for the RAICES, which I believe is pronounced Raices. So available.
And don't forget to contact your elected officials, because that is really important. Feeling the pressure definitely helps get things
and
done.
also, again, we didn't have an episode on election week for LA because of technical difficulties, but like if y'all haven't had your primaries or if you have, just please be aware of your election days and vote. Like I cannot emphasize how important that is, because that at this point is like the only way you can change things. So please be sure to vote. And I know that it's not like perfect, but it could help. It does help. So please vote.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna switch gears a little bit again. Well, actually, a lot of bit again. I don't know why I said a little bit. I don't know why I'm like this, y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I don't follow. You guys can fill in the blanks. I don't follow RuPaul's Drag Race, as you guys well know if you listen to the show regularly. Asia O'Hara did an interview with Billboard, and she talked about what it feels like to be like a black queen on the show. And she and she said that, you know, basically she's been booked for gigs, and people will tell her that the only reason she was booked is because Cameron or Aquaria or Miss Cracker were too expensive. She's been told that. She's been contacted by other black queens, and they've told her, like, you know what, girl, like, you're never going to be an Alyssa Edwards or a Trixie Mattel or a Katya. They're just never going to let you be on that level because you're a black queen. Bob the Drag Queen tweeted out a picture showing that the most popular queens are the thin white queens. She was also asked if she felt like pressure, you know, being the last black queen on the show this season, to represent and to speak out against things. And
damn,
she was like, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, she was like, I do feel that.
Yeah,
so, I mean, thoughts? I don't know.
I don't have much to say about this, but I will say that I think that RuPaul's Drag Race and kind of like I think that RuPaul's Drag Race and kind of drag in general is kind of really reflective sometimes of like app culture in terms of like desirability and that kind of thing. And I feel like the queens, like, and this is no shade because I don't think that they're a bad queen, but that's why I feel like Cameron Michaels is as far as Cameron Michaels is, because like I feel like Cameron Michaels is super mediocre.
So mediocre. And like I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
but like also fucking because like post thirst traps, like is super popular. And there's nothing interesting about her as a queen. Nothing.
Who is
I don't
this?
get
I'm
it.
gonna look them up. What's the name?
She's the
Cameron Michaels.
And like
she's the buff one.
Yeah.
And like I think Cameron is a good person.
Sure.
And I don't think that Cameron
she's a muscle gay, so that's
yeah,
why.
Right.
I don't think Cameron Michaels is herself is the issue, but I think the culture that surrounds her is the issue, where like you allow these people. It's what's been happening on Twitter, where like you see like these white muscle gays that like say this shit or do this shit, and then people excuse their behavior because they want to have sex with them or be fucked by them or get fucked by them or fuck them, and it's just kind of like. At what point do we I feel really strongly about this, but like at what point do we value talent over desirability? And I feel like it's frustrating because you have people that work super hard, like Asia O'Hara, who is a mother to everyone on the show, almost went home one week because she helped everyone else.
Yeah. She helped everyone with their outfits instead of working on her own.
Helped everyone, and they all admitted it. She's super talented when it comes to her craft. Like she clearly cares about drag and just done her research. But then you have Cameron talking about like the struggles of a muscle queen being a drag queen. Like, girl, bye.
Oh my god, really?
Like, no, yes. And like a lot of my like femme friends and my friends who are femme like at all times have been very upset about this, because it's just like he's doing this thing where it's just kind of like his entrance line, by the way, was oh, I wanted to audition for the pit crew, which is like the muscle crew or whatever on RuPaul's Drag Race, and he's like, but this might be a little more fun or whatever. And like this thing that like a lot of my friends get very frustrated by that are like femme at all times are just like this thing of just like, get you a man who can do both, and like constantly posting like, oh, like here are my muscles though. Like, yes, I'm femme or whatever, I can have fun, but look, I'm also fuckable, but I'm also desirable, but also like, you know, like at the end of the day, like I take all this like ugly stuff off and like I'm gorgeous, so like admire me, or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of femme folks don't have that option. They don't have the option of being like, oh, let me be more. And it puts it in like this thing where it's like being femme at all times is undesirable. And like those who can't escape it are like undesirable.
Yeah,
and so it's
right.
it's like super frustrating. And apart from that, like, look at Cameron and look at Asia. Like, I don't understand why she's still there. I'm sorry. I'm super upset. But especially with Vixen gone, like, I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? You have muscles and that's it. And like, when you talk about like, oh, why should you be here? Like, oh, because like I struggle with like being a muscle queen and my muscles and it's such a struggle. And like, girl, shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear that.
He was talking about how like he didn't have confidence. Like there was one point where he was like, "I don't find myself attractive," and Rue was like, "Girl, shut up!" Like, and like there's even a point where he was saying where they had like the inner saboteur, where they were talking about how he was talking about how he didn't feel confident, so he started to go to the gym. Which again, like that's very valid. A lot of people like deal with that, but that's what I think happens when, especially in situations like this with drag queens or whatever, when you put your confidence and your self-worth in your body as opposed to other parts. So you can be confident in your body, but like when you're in a situation like that, you have to be able to like be confident in your abilities as a drag queen and as a performer. And when you're relying on your desirability outside of drag, like, because I feel like a lot of times people try to like look past what Cameron Michaels has on and be like, well, when he takes this off, like he looks like this, so it's great, so I'm just gonna root for him. And that's what I feel like isn't fair to a lot of other queens. I understand that as a drag queen that like having muscles is a thing, like how a lot of people don't like bearded drag. There's still it's complicated. There's still like a struggle there. Like, I don't want to... Go ahead, John.
No, I'm glad you're bringing this up because, like, this is... I'm not saying that I am a muscle queen, but I am a larger person. And so I see where she's coming from in the point where it's not as attractive for someone... and I'm air quoting attractive, for someone like her or someone like me even, if I wanted to be in a cat suit or a bodysuit, my body's going to look a lot different than someone else whose foundation's a little more feminine. And so that way it's a little more passable, it's a little less cloggable, it's going to get you further in a competition. However, I would not say that, you know, you're struggling as a muscle queen. I mean, at least maybe in this arena, but people are going to conflate that to think that like your life is harder because of your muscles. But like, those are two separate things, you know, like generally you have gotten by so far because of your masculinity traits. And that's great. Good for you. But don't make other, like Renee was saying, people who live femme 24/7, don't make them feel bad for that. Like, I understand too, like, when I'm doing my makeup or whatever, I still have my beard. I feel a little awkward, and that's my own issue, and that's fine. But what I don't want is to make someone else who feels like who doesn't have a choice. Do you know what I mean? Cameron has that choice. She's one way this way on stage, and then the other way she's doing great. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So she can take it off at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, she's taking it off, and you know, it's drag. This is her performing, but like. I wouldn't say you're struggling, which was my frustration with her, because I was like, I was excited for her. I was like, yay, a different sort of like body type of queen, but also like the way you're pitching it is really off, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it's like the thing is, there are queens that are muscular. They're just like skinnier, right? And the thing is, no one would be complaining about Cameron if Cameron was performing at the level that like Asia was, or even or like Aquaria, or even I guess Eureka, whatever. But like no one would be complaining if Cameron was slaying, because I think that there is room to have that conversation in terms of like why can't muscles be feminine? Because I think that that's a valid conversation to have, because a lot of female bodybuilders definitely go through that. But the way he's phrasing it is like the white gay version of that problem.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's such
that's like the issue, because it's not intersectional, and it's very like how like a lot of people criticize Nicki Minaj when she only talks about something when like it affects her. Like that's kind of what I feel like is going on. But anyway.
And it's like she knows the pull too. Like she's like constantly walking around with the least amount of clothes as possible, like on set. Like she knows what she's doing. She knows it. And then apart from that, I don't know if y'all saw the trade competition where she like,
What?
I feel
Oh.
like
I ain't get asked to that. Why wasn't Leroy asked to that? DeMarcus, was you at the trade competition?
where basically like the queens had to pretend.
I don't fuck with that.
The queens had to pretend to be trade. And like, I feel like she thought she was acing it. And like, I'm sure she was, but like, I didn't find her attractive at all. Like, I get that she has muscles and she's white, but I feel like that's all that people see and they're like flocking to it. I don't see, like, even then, like, I don't see.
Girl, you gotta stop trying to figure it out. He's white and he has muscles. That's all there is to it.
Well,
there's nothing else needed beyond that. There's no understanding it. That's just what it is.
I mean,
You would drive yourself crazy.
I think the bigger part of this problem is just a lot of it is fan driven.
Right.
And
Yeah.
most of the queens, the most popular queens on Instagram are the white girls.
Right.
And
Yep.
so, I mean, let's be real. Like, I
Right.
want to be upset at Rue and her show, but this is not up to her. This is also up to the producers, the people who are pushing the money into it,
Right.
and they want to give the people what they want.
A lot of the fans are very racist. A lot of the fans.
Well, I think that was set up though. If you look at even the earlier seasons, like how many black queens have ever like won, and how many black queens do they have on the show regularly? That's the thing. Like, I'm not saying that it can be both, but
So this is
why
a
can't it be
discourse
both?
I'm realizing.
Yeah.
This is a
Yes.
discourse because like
This
there's
is.
a lot because like I was about to say like black queens aren't even allowed to be mediocre on the show and white queens are.
right.
I
And it's
mean,
just-
black people in general go to a club and see black go-go boys versus white go-go boys.
I mean,
Right.
this goes to show that if you're POC, you have to try twice as hard for someone who isn't.
Yeah, for half the respect. But
Yep.
anyway, should we do one more?
Yeah. Which one?
Let's
Ooh,
make some
Father
quick
God.
ones. Wait, can I say one that's not on the docket?
Sure.
What?
Congratulations to Amanda Steinberg for coming out. She came out as a
Oh,
lesbian.
I didn't know
Who?
that.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Amanda Steinberg. Am I pronouncing that
It's
right?
Amandla.
Amandla.
Oh,
Yeah, from Hunger
oh,
Games.
yes.
She came out as gay. She said gay and like lesbian in her Billboard interview. So and
But I
she's
felt like she
po-
kind of did already.
I mean, she kind of came out on Tumblr a while ago, but yes, for her coming out publicly in the
Yay.
magazine.
yeah, and she put it on her Instagram too. She said, finally it's out on print and I can say it out loud. And congratulations to her.
Yay!
Good for her.
Base, did you want to talk about what's his name?
wait.
That
Real quick, I just want to say fuck the XXL list. For their freshman class cover this year, they had a bunch of no-name ass niggas on there. I mean, a bunch of niggas who have names and are like establishing themselves, but they had one woman on there, which is Stefflon Don. Wasn't
Iggy Azalea on a list one year?
Did they?
I think
mean,
so, yeah.
that would not surprise me at all. But there's like other girls doing it right now. There's Rico Nasty. Have you guys listened to Megan Thee Stallion? She's so good. She's from Houston. I hope her and Beyonce do something in the future. There's Saweetie. There's what's those girls called? There's Melly. There's what are those girls that are always saying period? Those two girls. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? No.
girl, I have no idea who any of these people are.
Okay, well, get your music updated, sisters. Shisters.
Okay. Sisters.
Shisters. City girls. There's just so many other like talented up and coming female hip hop artists right now, and it's just mad boring that you have like 20 niggas on this cover but one woman. It's irrelevant. Like you're quickly showing yourselves to be irrelevant. XXL magazine. I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody wouldn't have too much to say about this, but rapper XXX something or other
God.
I don't
died.
even know who that is.
He got shot and killed today.
He's not. Well, was not.
All I'm gonna say about that is, if you are mourning him and his music meant something to you, that is definitely 100% your prerogative. However, this nigga abused the shit out of his girlfriend.
Right.
This nigga beat the shit out of a gay man almost to death, and then covered the nigga's blood, covered himself in the other guy's blood, like
said it was
war
a
paint.
tribal paint.
A tribal paint, yes, and talked
the
about it in an
fuck?
interview proudly. Okay, this nigga was not a good person. So if people feel a type of way, or people want to talk about that kind of person that he actually was, they can do so. And for all you niggas, compared him to fucking Malcolm X. People are doing all this extra shit, comparing people to cops because they're just killing the black man. Like, first of all, what? This man did horrible shit and was a horrible person. Okay, so he's growing up or he's changing his life, whatever. Like, that's not a phase. You don't just happen to abuse your girlfriend. You don't just happen to beat somebody nearly to death.
Ooh, yeah.
These are not mistakes that you made. These are decisions that you made. Mm-hmm. So if people feel a way about that, we're not celebrating that anymore. Like, queer people, women, black women, like, we're not gonna sit here and cape for you niggas while you abuse the shit out of us. No longer. So next time you get shot up or you get hit or abused in some type of way, you on your own. That's honestly how I feel about it from now on. Like, fuck all these homophobic ass niggas. Fuck all these misogynistic ass niggas who got so much to say about people's lifestyles and are abusive and doing all this fucked up shit. And then we're supposed to like cape for y'all when y'all die? Choke. Keep
like,
that.
A word, Baze.
Just a mess. Like,
listen, I'm not gonna say that I'm happy he died, but I'm definitely not sad about it, and I won't be mourning it.
I'll let Baze have that because, listen, I'm not saying shit because I agree, but Twitter has been a mess, and it's just like
they could come on with it
like a few times because so many people are like coming out of the woodwork. And I want to read a tweet. This isn't really about that, but it's kind of similar. Mm-hmm. Someone tweeted, Baze, you might have seen this. It said, all of y'all, quote, removing negativity from my timeline all of y'all saying removing negativity from my timeline can just come out and say that you're unfollowing POC or not complicit with white ignorance. If you're going to cape for your white kings, be loud about it. And
well, that's a good segue because I was actually going to go into that.
Okay. I think we have like 3 minutes, so let's
go. Yeah, let's just real quick. There was some I forgot his name, but there's a Twitter user who has been exposing white gays on Twitter for their racism. They've been out here saying nigger, not even nigga, but nigger. Not that it would have been better with nigga, but you know what I mean. They just went the full Monty with the whole E and the R, and they've been getting exposed, and a lot of people are like, well, y'all are just being negative and y'all are just doing this, and they were just teenagers, and I was just a teenager when I said nigger. And it's just like, girl, you were 19 years old, 11 months, okay, and 3 weeks old, bitch. Goddamn teenager. You were goddamn near 20 talking about I was a teenager. Bitch, you knew better. You knew what the fuck you were doing. And that's annoying because the response has been like very subpar, very lackluster. People don't really give a fuck because all of these white boys and white adjacent boys have muscles, and they have, you know, the face or whatever, so they're beautiful or whatever. And it's just like somebody said something to the effect of, if the devil had a white body and muscles, you would follow him into hell. And that's the honest to God truth. Because you bitches don't have no type of standards. You bitches like have all sorts of standards as soon as a white person is half attractive. And it's just really, that's really the most heartbreaking thing to me, because of course white people don't give a fuck, but like y'all would sell yourself down the river for some white dick, and it's just not worth it. And it's just so sad to me.
Whoa,
sorry.
It's really not.
No, don't be sorry, Baze.
Renee and I can tell you
take
it's
it
not.
From a reformed Snow Queen, reformed-ish Snow Queen. It's really not worth it.
It's
Snowish Queen.
It's just so frustrating, because even to this day there are people that are still following these white guys after they've been exposed for their anti-blackness, and they're still like, you know what I mean? People are not speaking up about it. Like, this is real shit. Like, people are trying to act like this is just some like messy Twitter shit, but in reality, like, this is shit that affects our lives, because these white gays that are on here talking about nigger on Twitter, what do you think they're treating people like in real life? And
Thank you.
And they're
Thank
getting
you.
away with
These
it too,
people,
because why? Because they're hot.
Jobs. They have jobs. They go to jobs where they have to talk to people, and they're the people that are making these videos talking about don't speak Spanish in front of me. These are the people that don't give black people loans when they try to get a house. These are the people that don't give black people loans when they try to get apartments. These are the people that sit there, have the no fats and the no femmes things. Like, y'all, I don't get why people say it's just the internet. They carry these real ass ideas with real ass consequences in real ass life to the real ass ballot box, and we got real ass Donald Trump, because y'all don't call people people out. Like, stop fucking racist. Like, it's not that difficult.
You know what else is like the true gag of it all is that like y'all treat like these muscular white men like they're like a rare resource. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're like a diamond or something, and it's just like they're literally walking down the street every day. Every day I walk down the street, I see a white muscle person, a white muscle gay. Every day I see them every day. They're not rare. You can get one. 2 for free, a 2 for 3 special, whatever. You can get them. They're not that difficult to get. Okay, so like it's just really upsetting to me that y'all are like doing all this. They're the majority of this fucking country. White men are the majority. You're the rare ones.
Wow, babe. Thank you, babe.
Shake the table, sis.
Woo.
So anyway, when I walk into a white space, that's what I have in mind. I'm the rare one. Okay, I'm the one that fucking stands out. Everybody else in here look exactly the same. So,
all right,
put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Thank you.
I love us.
Thank you, babe.
This is
like that. I think that is the end of Minutes of Color.
For this long ass Minutes of Color, we're gonna move on.
Move on to the Discord.
Ooh, Jesus, an hour, bitch. Okay. Hello. I was gonna do the French accent, but I was just like, you know what? I don't have it in me.
Let's go.
To the Discourse. Oh yes, the Louvre.
Today we're not having a discourse. We're having allure.
Oh, you know what I really messed up on? I was trying to say a 2-for-1 special. I was trying to say you could go down to the pier and get you a 2-for-1 special of Caucasians. But anyway, sorry, that just crossed my mind right now. But the discourse topic is going to be plastic surgery. Oh wow, that rhymed. Yeah. So, how do you guys feel about it? Are you for it? Are you against it? And do you have anything that you want to get done? If so, do you want to share? If not, you ain't got to. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
I used to be against it a lot, or not against it. I used to shame people for it a lot, but at this point, I just don't give a fuck. Like, my mindset is like, do what the fuck you want to do, bitch, and like do what makes you happy. But I do think that there is. I think with everything though, it could become like I've seen people become like really obsessed with it. And like kind of become, I don't know if this is the correct term, so please correct me, but like body dysmorphic about it, where it's like, you know what I mean? And it's like extreme, but again, that's like them. But it's sad to me when I see that, because I'm just kind of like, fuck, like, I wonder like what this person has gone through to make them feel like they have to be like this. But then it's like we live in America, and like, you know, all the images that we're given. And I think about the guy who's like the living Ken doll.
Oh my god, he's Filipino. I'm so embarrassed.
He's Filipino?
Yeah. Oh no, no.
Really?
No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking
white.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking the Superman.
Superman.
The guy. There's a guy who's gotten like, I don't know, like hundreds of surgeries so he could look like Clark Kent or Superman.
Can you find a picture? Because I feel like
I'm
they might have.
Googling it right
Are
now.
they gay, John?
I don't know how they identify.
Probably.
Superman. Yeah.
Depending on, I feel like they might have hit me up on an app, but I'm not sure. Are they live in LA?
It's this guy. You just Google Superman plastic
never
surgery.
mind. I'm thinking of someone else. Oh,
He looks interesting.
but that's what's so weird to me, is because like when you try to do that, like to me it doesn't like
He
that.
bleaches too.
It's like it's sad to me, because it's just kind of like, sis, I'm sure you slayed. Like as Baze just said before, like we're the special ones, you know, so like you don't have to conform to whiteness like that. But in terms of like plastic surgery itself, like as a macro concept, I mean, do what you want. Like Kelly Rowland got a boob job, and it's one of the best things I think she's ever done. She looks amazing. So it's just kind of
Tiana
like,
Taylor got a nose job and it looks really good.
yeah. One of my favorite TV shows used to be Nip Tuck on FX, and I love the show because you kind of get to see how I have a feeling it's probably problematic, but anyway, you got to see why people got plastic surgery for like different reasons, and like all the different kind of ways and psychology behind it, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like if the question was, would I get something myself? I think so. Like, I'm pretty happy with like where I am. Like,
you're really pretty, Rakeem. Like, you're so pretty. Your face is really,
thank you.
really even, and you have like really high cheekbones, and your nose is like really like straight. I don't mean thin, but like straight.
Oh yeah, I have a black ass nose. I guess the only thing I would maybe even consider is like, but I actually wouldn't consider. The only thing I would potentially get plastic surgery for is for like stomach area. But even then, it's like I like being big. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm a thick guy, and I like being built like a football player, and I like all that shit.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
Ricky was showing me pictures of his twink phase earlier, and I was like, "Oh my god, you look so much better now."
I can like I was looking at myself.
Body on theek.
Thick.
Body on feet.
The scissor jumped out.
Rakeem is out here proving that this is not the age of the twink. It is. the
No,
age of
I think it's the age of thick boys, and like I like. But at the end of the day, I understand why certain people do.
right.
So I'm not shaming anyone that does. But for me, I like where I am. But sometimes, but look, if I ever decided I wanted to get like quote snatched and like have that hourglass thing instead of the Tetris shape that I have now, I might pay to do. I mean, if I had the money, I would pay to do a shit and avoid going to the gym for 6 months. Hell yeah, the fuck. So,
Do you want to go, Renee, or shall I?
You go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so my big thing is I hate so first of all, I'm totally for it, if that wasn't clear before. I guess I'm like be reasonable, I guess. Like, I feel like people should be reasonable, but I also don't want to like police how people, what people want to get done. Like, I feel like, so like, I mean, we talked about Black China last week, but like, I feel like her butt is clearly ridiculous, so I don't know if that was like something like she's like, I just want like a ridiculously huge butt, and clearly it doesn't matter because like niggas still, are paying for it. But I don't know, I guess I just don't want anything ridiculous. Like, I've always wanted to get like a fat transfer to my butt.
yeah.
Yes.
Wait, to your ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. My butt feels like flat, not flat.
Girl.
Like, I know it's not flat, but like it feels like not as big as I want it to be. Like, I want
I'm
it to be
throwing myself
higher.
out of the building
Fuller.
right now.
Do you remember that time you had dinner with me and Rakeem, and then your ass just kept moving the table?
And it hit. You don't realize how big your ass is, girl. It moved the table.
Basically shook the table.
Well, call it body dysmorphia, bitch, because it doesn't feel that big to me. I don't know, like, it feels sizable, you know what I mean?
Wow.
But it doesn't feel like I want bam, you know what I mean?
Baze
Like,
is the
bitch,
opposite.
you know?
Well, he's the size queen, but for asses.
For ass.
Yes,
ass.
I am. For myself.
John and I are sitting here shook because Baze, like, your ass is like, we were literally having a 5-minute conversation about how your ass was out of control.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
And he was. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure those were like loose fitting pants too.
Yes.
Oh, really? No, I don't wear loose fitting pants.
Yeah, girl. When we were going
Well,
to the
to
buffet,
you they're not.
when we were right when we were about to go to the buffet, and you were turning around, you turned around.
Baze
you
already
hit
gave the
table,
buffet.
and it.
Baze showed us. He said the buffet is here.
Hello.
Okay.
Sorry, we'll
Fine.
shut up.
Okay,
Keep
fine.
going.
Fine. I'll accept
International House of
No.
Buffet.
We're sorry. We're sorry,
Oh,
Baze.
shut up.
It's still
So
valid.
okay, so face wise, I definitely I don't know how much I can do about it, but I hate how like uneven my face is. Like, and it's something I'm hyper aware of, like how and I know everyone's face is uneven, but like I just feel like mine's is super uneven. And I know now that I said it, everybody's gonna notice, but it's okay. It's okay. I've accepted it.
okay.
But I would like to like make my nose like a little bit straighter because it kind of goes to one side, and it also is like I broke it when I was a kid, so like it kind of bends down. I just want it to be straighter, not thinner, but straighter. And yeah, I just want to if there's a way that I can make my face just a little bit more even. I also wish my lips were bigger. Like, I want like that slight pout, but I don't want to do anything because I don't like want to chance it because I see like almost everyone I've seen who's gotten lip injections, it does not look.
Then you'll come out looking like Cameron Michaels. You got to be careful, sis.
Yeah, they be looking like Daffy Duck, and it's just not. I don't know. Anyway,
There's a very certain like white gay WeHo lip thing that goes on.
oh my god, with the little creases on the sides, like
And
that.
I don't-
Obviously looks like they're kind of like smirking.
like Britney Spears.
Yes, it
Oh,
kind of
yes,
looks
like
like they're going.
Joker.
It kind of looks like they're going like without trying. Sorry. Anyway,
No, that was it for me.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. yeah, I just feel like body modification, like, well, it's interesting because I think it gets complicated because it's just like a lot of people do body modification to feel like, like they're representing who they actually feel they are.
Yes.
So it's just like, I don't, yeah, and then, so obviously, like, fucking do you, like, do what you need to do to feel like yourself, or to be yourself. The other stuff, is weird because, I'm like, the thing with me is I feel like I'm a little oblivious to something sometimes when it comes to like my own imperfections. Like, I think at this point I've just been like a little kind of like okay, like whatever, like I'm not always happy about myself, and that's fine because at the end of the day, like whatever, I'm me, and like for the most part I love myself, and I attract people that I love and love me. So like, what more can I ask for? But I was recently hanging out with somebody who I believe is very dysmorphic, and like was nitpicking at like everything that was wrong with their body and their face and I was just like, oh my God, like I started picking up on stuff and like, oh my God, wait, I didn't even realize like this was a problem, or like I should be paying attention to this, or like this is going on.
Renee's like Katie Haring. He's like, I think my breath smells in the morning.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Almost. Yeah. Exactly. Like when everybody's like talking about how much stuff sucks, and like she's kind of like clueless, and she's like, oh wait, like, oh, that's a problem too. Like I didn't even think about that. And not to say that, like, because there's been a lot of, I spent a lot of time hating myself, a lot of it. So not to say that I've never thought of it before, but like, I think at this point, like, I'm just so used to myself that I like was kind of like, okay, whatever, like, who cares? But I started picking up on it, and like, it started getting like a little intense recently, and like, I was almost thinking like, oh shit, wait, I should get stuff done. Like, there is stuff that I'm unhappy about, or like, I know if I do this, like, it'll, give me that one like little extra step up where like, it's not where it's not like always like seen as beautiful or whatever. Like, a big thing for me is what I was internalizing specifically. Well, it was a lot, to be quite. It was everything. It was like my body, how uneven I feel it is, how like I'm not like very muscly or defined, or I don't like a lot of these things. Like I guess maybe just like the appeal of like the IG, the cute IG baddie, like whether it's a POC or not. But like the fucking beard, like the defined jaw, like the like big biceps, like all, like everything, like I was internalizing, and yeah, and I was just looking at like, okay, like who do the people that I like or that I have had crushes on, like who are they always like, what photos are they always liking? And it's just like, if you go to your explore, like, wow, you go on that page and you see like, who is this? And it's somebody that I don't even particularly think is incredibly attractive, but they have all these things checked off on the list, like the chin, the jaw, the muscles, whatever. And then I go on likes, and then I'm just like, oh, like this is what this person likes, like, and like constantly like, oh, this is if I look like that, maybe, I would be considered a candidate for that person.
Damn.
So I had been internalizing a lot, and like, and that's like, apart from that, I think there's this other like racial thing where it's just like things that are considered like quote unquote like ethnic or whatever are like ugly on people who are actually POC, but like on white folks they're like considered like, oh, like a little exotic. And and apart from that, like something like a big thing that I was internalizing is I was looking at like, okay, who like what, when people are out and they want to take photos of their friends, like who are they taking photos of, and like who are they not posting, or like who are they posting and then deleting like a day later, and it's just like, oh, they have this look, and like a big thing for me that I noticed like a lot of people do when like they post like group photos or like constantly posting guys is like even facial features, and like a big thing even amongst POC is just like making sure the nose isn't like too big, right? And I have a pretty, like, my nose is like, she's out there, like she's like, hey, I'm here. Like, it's like, especially compared to my other features, like I feel like it's a bit uneven. Like
Renee just said,
like,
I too have a Negro nose. Which drops to 5 nostrils.
I hate y'all. No, but that was one of the things I didn't want to share that, but I'll share it. Whatever. That was one of the things that I was thinking, like, oh wait, like maybe that's something that I should be worried about. And especially the comments that I've been getting like my whole life, where like I've had people be like, wow, like that's a huge nose, or like I've had people be like, wow, you look like really Mexican, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I am, but they're telling me like as if like it's like a pimple or something that I need to take care of, and so yeah, it's something that I internalize. So like so my thing basically, sorry, I'm gonna make this short, but long story short, there's stuff that I'm super okay with, like, dude, do what you want to do to make yourself happy, but there also in my head I'm just like, what are we internalizing? And why is it making us unhappy about ourselves? And like sometimes it's like stuff that like, yeah, actually this is actually you, who you feel like you are, or who you actually are inside. So do it. And then other times I'm just like, maybe we're internalizing things that we shouldn't be. And maybe it's not us that's fucked up. It's society, or like the outside thing that should be fixed, or like should look at beauty differently. But yeah, anyways, that was me.
Okay. And then Jean. And I guess you can in the episode too, sis, because
what? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jean Bon Kogundaha.
So before John starts, just to let y'all know, we kind of stand too long. So John's gonna talk about what John is gonna talk about, and then we'll do letters next week.
All right. So I really want to emphasize what Renee had said about sometimes people do things to express who they really are, and it is. You know, I consider a lot of things body modification if you really think about it. Like, I think tattoos is almost in a way like it's sort of in the same arena as plastic surgery, as in the way you're modifying your body to look different than it would without anything else done to it. So, yeah, and I mean, I have a lot, and
like haircuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. So I wouldn't say that surgeries or any sort of like body modification is not being true to you, because sometimes it is people being their real selves. And then I think with that said, I've had this conversation with you guys privately sometimes, but sometimes if I were to look at myself and think about the things that I'm changing, and I'm sort of it's really interesting that we're talking about this today, because I was at Trans Pride recently, or over the weekend, and I questioned a lot of my journey and what's happening, and what I'm processing, and a lot of a lot of folks who identify as non-binary people, even in the community, the LGBT community, ask people who are non-binary, ask, like, when are you going to start hormones, and when are you actually going to really transition? Which is interesting, because like you never tell bi people like, when are you going to figure out a team, you know? So when people who are non-binary, asking them like, when are you going to start hormones, or when are you going to transition, it's sort of an interesting question, because like you're sort of questioning the validity of who we are identifying as non-binary in the first place. So I do feel like if this question were to turn around for me, and if I knew the results and what would happen would turn out to be okay, I would totally do it. And what I mean by that is like a total change, like sexual affirming facial, the whole nine, I guess. But it's hard to look at myself and think that I could be as soft or as feminine as most girls who are stealth and who have that sort of aesthetic. I didn't know that's really problematic, but I'm just going to be real and say that it's also like a safety thing, and it's also
like passing.
Yeah, and I can't guarantee, and nobody can, and nobody really knows, and I applaud everyone who follows that path, because you're taking a huge risk, and with a lot of things. But sorry, I'm like fumbling. But yeah, that's something that I don't know what it's what's gonna happen afterwards. So
I got scared.
It's just harder for me to see myself as someone like, this is not just like, a nip tuck. This is not just and I was actually looking, I just Googled right before it was my turn, like what do people around the world consider, or what's the most common surgeries, and for example in India, they have the most common surgery there is lymph lengthening. So it's where they purposely fracture a bone in their leg, and they use metal extenders to make themselves taller. In Brazil, it's obviously the Brazilian butt lift is the most common, and in America, actually, it's vaginoplasties. For even for cisgender women, just to fix it and modify it so it's not like a bump, because they don't want that bulge to look like a man, right? So, I don't know where it was really. But if this question were geared towards me, I wouldn't say that plastic surgery is not someone not being true to themselves, especially if it comes to something like identity, because maybe the body they're in isn't the body.
But that's why it's important to have those conversations, because it's intersectional. Like the way that we all talked about it is very different, right? Like I wasn't thinking about it in the way that you, like I wouldn't even think that would even be considered in the realm of that, but clearly that's not like my experience, like what you're talking about, right?
Right.
So it's like nice, or maybe not nice is the right word, but it's interesting hearing like different
my version of what plastic
perspectives
surgery
of like
would
what that means to people, and that's what the point of the fucking show is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like have like different perspectives, like the fact that Baze thinks of something different than what Renee thinks versus like what I think versus what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very real, especially with as far as safety is concerned, because we see how many trans women are killed like yearly, and how whether you're clockable or not, like, can affect your safety and your livelihood.
Yeah.
And
just your ability to like be happy.
Right. And right, exactly. And your livelihood could be either way is like in danger. So like that's very real.
I don't know. It was just interesting because trans pride was like a really beautiful thing to be a part of and see everyone's different. There's so many different journeys and like people, and it made me. I kept thinking. I saw this question a lot during Pride. Was like, am I trans enough? And everyone's version. I mean, the short answer is yes, but like, what does that mean, to the rest of the world, and what does that mean to within our community? Because if you're not doing hormones, if you're not doing the surgeries, it brings up a lot of questions for a lot of folks. And I don't know. It's sort of. It made me like. It was really beautiful because I got to use. There were all gender restrooms. That was fun, but I got to use specifically the ladies' room, and it was nice being in the room. In the restroom with the women and just like not anyone there questioning me at all, and like they were like happy to see me in there with them, and yeah, they were like, oh my god, you're in here, and yeah, and it's affirming sometimes. And so when it comes when it comes to things like plastics for some folks with, their gender identity, I don't know. And I know that a lot of people think about it too, if hormones or if going under the knife is their part of their journey, because it's a lot of anxiety, because there's a lot of uncertainties and a lot of things could go wrong. And, and after something like this, there really isn't a turning back. There's no turning back point,
Yeah.
So it's kind of a huge commitment. Anyways, yeah, that's just something that.
Yeah, I know someone who, one of my friends, like, transitioned, and like immediately after surgery was like regretting it, is incredibly happy now, but like it's just, there's just a lot of anxiety attached to it, because like, what if it doesn't turn out the way that you want it to, or the way that'll affect your livelihood or make you happy.
Right.
So,
and that's the thing. Exactly. What if after all this I'm like still dysmorphic?
Right.
And then I just either it becomes an addiction, or it becomes just this more of a problem than it originally was.
Right. And but basically you don't have to transition to be trans. Like,
but it's also being comfortable with who you see in the mirror.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
Jesus.
Well, child, the growth.
Ooh, child, the dysmorphia.
Oh my God.
Well, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of Podcast of Color. We want to say thank you all so much for listening. We want to say thank Beyonce for releasing that album.
Yes.
I want to tell John to go listen to it. I love you.
I'm going to do it.
After this. Shout out to Sophie also for dropping the album, waiting until right before Trans Pride to drop it, since she just came out as trans recently. So.
Wow.
I forgot Christina Aguilera dropped an album, and I feel so
she
bad.
did.
I heard it's actually really good. I need to listen to it.
But imagine waiting 6 years for your comeback, and
then I saw that
and Beyonce,
and then Beyonce dropped.
See, apparently she didn't get the call that Nicki Minaj got.
Nicki was like, "I'm gonna drop," and Beyonce says, "Sis, don't do it."
She was like, "Don't do it, sis. I'm dropping that day, the day after."
But Oh, sorry. I was just going to say...
I just wanted to say shout out to Poppy Juice. I'm so excited to go to their party on Saturday. I posted the details on our story, on the Instagram story for the podcast. And also just looking forward to seeing your lovely faces at Pride this weekend in New York.
Also, really quickly, I want to say thank you to two people. One, I'm going to be in an art show on June 27th, which is the opening reception from 6 to 10. It's called In This Together, Embracing Diversity, a special curation of work for Equality California, where 50% of the proceeds of the sales that day will go to Equality California. I'll have 3 pieces in the show, so please go and support if you can. I also want to say thank you to our fellow Reverie podcast mates, our mate Big Dipper. I was in his music video for Lookin', which we shot like in January or something like that, but I couldn't talk about it until now. So also thank you for that, because that was such a good, amazing experience, and I felt, and we were surrounded by like so many different body types and people and guys there, so it was really great. And there were people of all races and all shapes, and he actually talked to me personally about the casting to be sure that like, everyone was represented, so I'm really happy about that. I also shot his single cover, which is really dope. I guess I'll post a little preview thing on our podcast story, but yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can find us on
Wow.
You okay, sis?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, that was Jay-Z again. You can find us on Twitter at Trash of Color, everywhere else at Podcast of Color, and be sure to subscribe, leave comments, with that, I guess we will.
I have a parting question. Did anybody else find Jay-Z's voice sexy and nice? I just thought he sounded so sexy in that song.
I think Jay-Z's fine as fuck, and I think he can do things to me. That choking earlier, that's what I meant by that.
Okay. Okay, so you gonna be the mistress? Okay, I see. So you gonna be the other woman.
Yeah, of a billionaire? Fuck yes.
Will and Beyonce? Oh, okay. See, the stand. Keep jumping right on back.
Have a happy Pride, everyone.
See you next week. Happy Pride. I don't know why I'm waving.
Happy
Bye.
Pride.
This podcast is executively produced by Aaliyah J. Daniels, LaShawn McGee, Damian Pelliccioni, Christopher Rodriguez, John Kagandahan, Keem Cunningham, Baze White, and Renee Hernandez.